Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. This is going to be a short video, very short. I want to watch a movie. So, I have an update for you all on the second stimulus checks. So, basically, the bill that I've been reading here, as you all know, Pelosi and Schumer basically turned around and said, absolutely not. There needs to be more money. Mitch McConnell has introduced the HEALS Act, which had stimulus checks in it. Again, the Democrats said absolutely not. So, you know, and the HEALS Act had $1,200 per person, $2,400 for married couple, $500 per kid. Unfortunately, they're now drafting something to get the Republicans on board, which, mind you, this is interesting, which won't be introduced until they return in September. So the skinny bill. Well, the skinny bill is going to offer liability protection for businesses, which they want, which, again, Democrats aren't going to budge. Aid to schools, which they will budge. And aid to the funding of the post office of $10 billion, which they want to give $25 billion. And $300 weekly unemployment until December 27th. An additional funding to the Paycheck Protection Program to businesses that experience 35% revenue loss compared to 1 year ago. So the liability shield is introduced the HEALS Act, that protects businesses, schools, and medical providers that did not demonstrate gross negligence. It also includes $105 billion funding for schools and universities, $29 billion for vaccine, and $16 billion testing and contact tracing. The second stimulus check was excluded, and that's the question I'm here to say why. The next one, the HEROES Act, would have costed $400 billion, and the one that we got previous was $300 billion. And with the stock market reaching new heights, it's much easier to make an argument that the economy is perfectly well and additional stimulus is unnecessary. Again, they're using the stock market. The stock market is not an accurate barometer of the economy as a whole. It does make the argument easier, and with the stock market stealing the headlines with record highs, lawmakers can push for other priorities. But again, people are putting the stock market first and stimulus checks on the back burner. It also says, again, they're trying to tear up and say it's the GOP's problem, that their priorities lie, even if many Americans are feeling the financial pinch, they appear to be focusing the aids towards those who are out of work. There seems to be less likely an appetite to send $1,200 to families that also need it but still earning a paycheck. So again, they're just saying, no. So every previous discussion had a stimulus check. No one knows what's in it, but they've excluded it so far. The draft proposal is merely a draft, and Republican at that. It would still require the buy-in of the Democrats in the House of Representatives before it could become law. And as long as Nancy Pelosi carries the hammer, she ain't going to give in. The skinny bill doesn't address many issues that have stalled negotiations since its aid to states and have been against any type of piecemeal legislation. Like I said, if I was president, I'd make piecemeal stimulus checks, unemployment, etc. One bill at a time. Get it out there for the people. It says here, according to Politico, the White House chief of staff will be at the Capitol to vote to restart the negotiation of the next package, which is an encouraging sign. And that's it. Now, this one says they're going to return to September, and when time will be essence, as the official year is scheduled to end September 30th, and the passing next year's budget will be high on the agenda. So they want to, So the skinny bill, I just read that, doesn't have anything to do with any stimulus checks. Now, we'll know more tomorrow, okay? In the meantime, look for an update tomorrow when I do spreadsheets, and I will give you an update then if they voted on a postal thing bill. But just remember, U.S. Postal Service, they think comes first, so our votes will be counted. Now, I just found out some good news. I went online tonight, and everything's been registered to the county I live in for voting. And Chloe might be happy to hear this, but I can early vote on October 16th. So me and Chloe will be taking a walk down to the courthouse to drop off the fucking ballot on early voting. I can also go into a voter's booth too if I want to with the mask and turn out. So any way to look at it, it seems I'm going to be voting, which is good because, et cetera, et cetera. So your stimulus update is the skinny bill excludes this, but we'll know more tomorrow. But right now, as it seems, everyone is figuring that to cut out the bill to be under $1 trillion to let the Democrats even vote on it. Like I said, schooling, schools, and other issues like I just talked about. The problem is the taxpayers are going to throw shit fit. They're going to say absolutely not when it comes to it because Democrats won't budge. If Nancy Pelosi can't get at least $2 trillion or even $3.4 trillion, again, remember I'm the one that called Kamala Harris was going to be the next vice president and that stimulus checks are dead, then you'll know then what I'm talking about. So the point is the skinny bill, or as I call it, the skinny cow bill, ain't going to go anywhere again in the U.S. House of Representatives. They're not going to give in because no one gives a shit over there unless they get $1,200 for at least every person, or at least $6,000 for up to 5 people, and or $10,000 for hazard pay, and again, $500 billion to $1 trillion for state aid. Now, if anyone knows anything about the state aid and what's going on there, on why the Republicans don't want to give it, is it because they're trying to bankrupt the states, or is it because of something else? And just remember, this also includes $300 a week till December 27th. I personally think we'll wait and see. But in the meantime, I want you guys to think before you act, okay? Before you post comments, and this is a big one. I want to see comments down below. Post office gets $25 billion if it passes the Senate. Otherwise, it's stonewalled, and we all have to go out early voting. 2, I want you to think about this. They're putting the post office on hold because the stock market is doing great. Therefore, there's no more stimulus checks in their opinion. For all of you struggling financially, comments down below. I want to hear your comments on your opinions on why both parties are stonewalling it. Now, in my other video I did tonight, a long video, I basically said that what happened was, and I'm going to reiterate this real quick to make this video short, because Chloe and I got Patton to watch, don't we? Is this. The American people had the HEROES Act passed May 15th. Mitch McConnell stonewalled it. Then when they brought out a slim version of the HEROES Act called the HEALS Act, Nancy Pelosi batted it back like a tennis racket or thumped him in the head, crunching up, throwing it as a basketball and bouncing off Mitch McConnell's head, saying, So, again, they're butting heads because Mitch McConnell said her bill wouldn't pass. She said his bill won't pass. Now they're hammering at the skinny cow bill. If that doesn't pass, then you got to realize that you must vote your own conscience. If you're struggling for money and you need $1,200, vote the way you want to vote. You want to blame the Democrats? Blame the Democrats. You want to vote, blame the Republicans and vote the Republicans out? Do it. You want to vote Donald Trump out because he didn't offer more than $1,200? Vote him out. Thing is, you got to vote with your heart and soul. So basically, it's just a hardball tactic. And by the way, before I go, everyone watching this, if you post anything about Social Security being taken away, They've been every election. They've done the same thing. Through the Social Security is being cut, they get votes. That's all it is. It's a vote thing. I want to tell you that up front. Okay, don't worry. They're not going to cut Social Security. They're not going to cut VA. They're not going to cut railroad. They're not going to cut SSI. They're not going to cut disability insurance or retirement survivors. It's safe. So, skinny bill, we'll know more soon when the draft comes out, and I'll be first to let you know. Otherwise, everyone thinks that Donald Trump should do an executive order, which he can't because it's considered illegal of him trying to do executive orders for it. So, with that said, everyone, I hope this update finds you well. And also, just so you know, before we go, I'm going to read you a headline. This will be the year of the Biden, Republican Rahm Emanuel says. So, let's just clarify that. There's 74 days till the election. Each party can screw up, leading the other one to lose. So, don't put all your eggs in one basket until after the election. Vote if you can. And if you're not a voter, you don't have any opinions you don't have any opinions on the election. Okay. So there you have it, everyone. Hopefully you have a great evening, and I hope this update finds you really well. And if I can find that article on the stimulus checks and executive orders or whatever it was that disappeared off my news feed, I will make another video. Otherwise, give a thumbs up doodle, hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't for updates every day. We talk about politics all the time, elections, stimulus checks, and other great facts. And just so you know, I don't encourage you going through my older videos, but I did say Kamala Harris was going to be the next president because they want 40 million people to go homeless and then vote for Biden so they can get the $2,000 a month stimulus checks or universal basic income they propose until the pandemic's over. So think about that. Post comments down below. I want to hear from you. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hold some funding for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs. Hit the bell notifications. New content every day is updated on stimulus updates. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this early morning stimulus check update of the skinny bill. Thank you, and God bless you in everything you do.